Alright, we're back for round 3. Another 4 land hand with 2 forests, 2 plains, and a Barishi. Great plan for turn 4. No problem at all with this hand. We got a 1-drop. We're actually going to curve out. This is actually a nice card to have in play if you're playing a semi-early beater like this. It looks like our opponent is not on black. So he can destroy a land next turn, which is fine, I guess. I don't think it's particularly exciting. I don't mind trading here either, though. If he really wants to spend 2 turns stone raining me, I guess I'll live with that. It's unfortunate that this is double green. That means we might actually miss out on our chance to cast it. But it looks like that's not the plan. Our opponent is just beating down with a hasty guy. So I could play a forest here and get to 6 mana. Cast Barishi a turn early, which isn't that exciting. I could play a forest here, play a plains next turn, get to 7 mana with the Landlord Druid, which again doesn't do that much for me. So I think I just attack. I don't think our opponent really wants to Stone Rain us, and if he does, we have the option of sacrificing our Druid. I think the plan is for him to play a couple more creatures, and then use the Settlers. Playing a single plains might tempt him to use the Settlers on it, thinking he's going to mana screw me, but having second plains in hand is a good backup for that. So I don't mind at all if he I was going to say, I guess I don't mind if he wants to use the mana here to kill a land. Considering I'm at 4, it would set me back a turn on my Golden Feathers. I guess he's going to go for 2 lands, but now he's actually kind of in trouble. I don't know what his plan is exactly. If he doesn't have an answer soon, Orcish Settlers, I will admit, I'm spending a lot of time thinking about this Orcish Settlers. I went with the Radiant Essence there just to keep this up. Well, that was a poor play on our opponent's part. He could have used his whip there, at least to either make me think about regenerating this guy. Which would have been pointless. He could have just done it to my face. Burning Palm of Freed. 2/2 anti-flying creature. So he is fairly close to being able to kill my Zuberi Golden Feather. If he draws another yeah, these are tricky things to attack into. That might have just been a bad attack. I can Guided Strike to get myself out of it, which I think I'm gonna do. But I don't feel great about that. But at least it's a cantrip. There's really no sense in playing this now because he can just deal 2/2 and then Fire Whip it. So I guess we're just gonna stick with what we have here. That was kind of a waste of a Guided Strike there. This isn't great because I think Golden Feather was kind of our plan for winning this game, which means we need to deal with either the Efreet or the Fire Whip somehow. So pretty much anything that we attack with here, our opponent can just regenerate at worst. Tapping. It's a lot of mana. I don't know why he did that in response to the Fallow Worm. That's not really like, alright, I guess. I mean, I'm off of white mana now, which is not great for me, but it's not the worst thing in the world. So, opponent is fine, I'm going to take care of this. There's no reason to sack a forest here because he'll just Fire Whip it next turn then. How many goblins could he possibly have? That are worth playing? I guess we'll find out. A Swine Rider. Alright, we're not worried about that guy. A Tinkerer. We're not worried about that guy. Do you really want to be drawing these for the next 2 turns? Did he get the... He didn't even get the goblin that pumps. That would be the most important goblin if you're trying to just run out a bunch of goblins. Maybe he has it in his hand already. I mean, we're just kind of standoff here because I can't attack into anything. He can't really attack. A flanking guy would be nice for me, but they're all in white, which means I'm at least 2 cards away. And I guess he can ping me. It's not a complete standoff. So, Feral Instinct will probably trade with something. I'm trying to think of what my outs are to this. I don't really have any removal. Most of my removal is just combat tricks. We'll see what's in my sideboard. So I actually want to be able to cast that guy. Trample and Banding is pretty good. I mean, I think he has a plan for almost every attack. Like, even if I attack with both of these, I don't necessarily force through 4 damage. I mean, he could easily just double block this, but you know, he blocks this, regenerates and pings it. So maybe he does that just to kill this, or try to. I can save it with the Feral Instinct. He doesn't have like great plans for dealing with both of these, so I guess we'll just see what he does. He could sack the Fire Whip, but honestly, if he sacks the Fire Whip, that's not the worst thing in the world. I just hope that Feral Instinct here can kind of mess with his math. We do have to be somewhat cautious of Rock Slide or just getting burned out by something. Alright, so he just chump blocks. That's not going to happen. So banding would actually be pretty useful if we could draw another planes. This is a real grindy game right now, and he's actually a realistic threat to just burn me out. I'm at 13 life, which isn't especially bad. But he could easily have a Fire Blast, or I think there's Caravec's Torch, there's a couple X-Burn spells. So he could easily do some serious damage. I'm not going to attack this turn. When I'm going to attack, I really want to be overloading on attackers so that he doesn't have as many good options. It'd be nice to have some kind of combat trick. I don't know if I need to attack yet or not. if I attack and he gives this guy first strike, he can only really kill one of my /3 guys for free. So let's say he decides to kill Panther Warriors. He can actually kill Jungle Worm for free right now. So I would have to hold that back because he can just block the Jungle Worm with everything except the River Boa, make it a 1/1, and then even give this guy first strike. He only needs to block it with 4 creatures to make it a 3/3. Give this guy first strike and it dies, and then he's still free to put the River Boa on this guy and kill it, which would get me through for, like, we're getting close. And I don't know if this is the turn or if I should wait. The problem is deciding what I'm waiting for. I don't have a great follow-up, which I don't like. He can sacrifice this for an extra damage if he wants to. He doesn't have a lot of great blocks here. This is a tough call. I like that he's tapped down, because if he does have something like Rock Slide, he has less options. So he's definitely planning on that, just kind of taking out the Jungle Worm for free. Is he actually letting me kill the Lancer? And I'm going to try to kill the Burning Palm of Freet. I'm a little surprised by his blocking here. He must have something. I guess not. Wow. I definitely think he blocked in a non-optimal way. That guy has 1 damage on him and becomes a 4/4. Has 2 damage on him and becomes... Alright. But he lost the Fire Whip, so I don't even care. And I'm clearing out a good chunk of his board. So that actually accomplished quite a bit. I mean, he can swing back for 6. But I'm actually safe to play my 3/3 flyer now if I draw that white mana. And he can't be too aggressive about swinging back. Salty's Ogre's pretty good. It's all a question of how aggressive he wants to be. So he was not very aggressive, which is great for us, because we are going to help out our board presence here quite a bit. So what are we looking to draw here? Either one of these just kind of big guys is fine. Miraculous recovery would be nice. Ward of Lights, or Tariff is getting to the point where it's bad. Like, it would have been fine this turn if we had the white mana, but it's getting worse. Ward of Lights were a ways away from casting. So I don't know what we're hoping for in terms of getting this damage through. Really a plains more than anything. So if we just attack with the Barishi, he blocks and regenerates. If we attack with the Barishi and the Fallow Worm, which are the only creatures that don't get straight up eaten by this, he can block one and regenerate, but he can also block the other one and trade with Sawtooth Ogre. So I think we just keep this for now. He doesn't have a clock anymore, so I think we exercise some patience and hope that we can play our 3/3 flyer. Okay. That's not a great card for us, but it's not bad. We really want to draw a plains. Thank you. And run out our flyer. And we'll see. He could easily just have a Thunderbolt or something that he's been holding all game. But if this flyer lives, it's going to put some serious pressure on him. And Knight of Valor, it got a lot worse with his Bookguard and Fire Fiend. We know he has 2 cards in hand and a forest. Noble Elephant is actually quite good though. So we'll attack with this. I'm always a little bit cautious about overextending, but I don't know what our opponent has here. I think I just play the Wildebeest. I don't bother with the Knight or the Noble Elephant just yet. Thinking that that is going to be enough to win the game. Alright, so we got game 1. Very grindy game. Did create some problems for us. See if we have anything in the sideboard that's going to make game 2 any better. I don't really like any of these things. Vitalize could be okay. So this can return a Fire Whip, but he can just recast it. He can give Trample, which is okay. It can regenerate a green creature. Nothing exciting there. I don't know. This game could go either way in terms of who's kind of the aggressor and who's on defense. So Ephemeral Scouts could be fine for us. Ward of Lights I think could still be okay. But the 2 main problems that we faced in that game was the Fire Whip, which isn't a huge deal for us, it just affects all our combat math, but specifically the Fire Whip combined with the regenerating River Boa, and we just do not have an answer for River Boa. Tariff is like our best answer for River Boa, or Ward of Lights. Actually, I lied. Flanking is really our best answer for River Boa, but we're playing our only flanking creature. But I think I think this is our deck. I don't think Seething Charm does more for us than the cards we're already playing. Like if anything would come out of here, it's probably Remedy. But I like the fact that this can mess up his combat math. Like that all-out attack from last game, if we had had a Remedy in hand and could cast it, that would have been a complete blowout for him. You saw that, he traded a bunch of creatures, barely killed the Jungle Worm. If we could have prevented just a few damage across those creatures, I think we would have kept our entire board and he would have still lost the same amount of creatures. So Remedy is probably going to be a lot better than Seething Charm. We like the tricks, we like having the Ward of Lights, potentially make a guy unblockable or at least save it from something targeted, and we kind of need everything else here. So this is slightly worse because he has that burning Ifrit, but it did end up winning us the game, so I'm not really looking to side it out. Alright, this is a good hand. We have some early creatures, we have a nice curve, and both colors 3 lands. Absolutely a keep. We just hope that we don't miss our 4th and 5th land drops, and we should be in good shape to at least put some pressure on. Alright, and there's our 4th land drop already, so feeling pretty good. Even if the 5th land drop comes a little late, we can live with that. See how fast our opponent's start is, because I think based on what we saw last time from him, either of our decks could be the aggressive deck. So I'll start by racing. If I keep this blocker back, I lose one of my decent utility creatures. And I take 3 to the face anyway. So the plan right now is not to block. We'll play our Knight of Valor, a very tough creature to block. So we should be able to get in some free damage with Knight of Valor here. And we are racing quite effectively. Dwarven Berserker is, I mean, 2 drops are pretty wanting in this set, but Dwarven Berserker is just not that great of a card because the penalty is only when it becomes blocked, so it's easy enough to just not block a 1-1. I mean, that's not a hard thing to do. And so we hit our 5 drop, that's quite nice. Do we attack with the... Like, I don't want to sacrifice the forest yet, but I think it could be worth it. And I think I just play the straight up 4/4 here. It's a little easier to attack with. And maybe Jungle Worm's a little better, I don't know. It's just too easy for him to deal with this guy right now. He triple blocks it and it just dies. It becomes a 3/3. I guess it's still not a great triple block for him. If we untap with this board presence, I think we have to stop playing creatures. He's not keeping cards in hand, so I don't think he's like building up for a massive firestorm. But he could easily have like a rock slide. And a giant rock slide would explain why he's not really trying to go all out. So I'm not afraid of Firestorm. He hasn't played great creatures. I'm trying to decide whether to commit 1 additional creature to the board or not. I guess I'll play Llanowar Druid. It's not a high cost, and it gives me the ability to cast both of these in one turn if I want to. I'm just not sure what our opponent's doing. It could be he's just getting flooded. Alright, so he's got a Magma Mine. Which basically put a bunch of mana on it, put a bunch of mana into it, and then he can sack it to... He's a long way from killing me, so... So if he has a Rock Slide right now, and I can regenerate one of these guys, maybe I just go like this. Alright, that's it. I guess our opponent did not have anything. I try to play around stuff, but sometimes your opponent just gets flooded, and that's it. Alright, so took down the draft. We'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll open a Lion's Eye Diamond in one of these eventually. Thanks for watching.